So it's pretty easy to look at the Tory party right now and conclude they're not exactly united. But could this leadership contest find someone who will bring them together? Joining me now to help us understand all of this is the Tory peer and polling expert Lord Hayward, who was an MP in the 1980s and early 90s. Thanks very much for joining us. Is there a candidate who can unite the party, or is that just hopeless now?
I don't think it's hopeless, but it's certainly a challenge. And whoever wins has got that task to try and unite. Penny Mordaunt is running on the basis that she is the one who can unite the party. There's no question that there are camps very strongly for Boris who don't like Rishi, and vice versa. But if either of those two wins, certainly their first task in creating a government will be to try and bring the party together and integrate both sides.
To win the next general election, but is that hopeless? Do you think the Tories have got a chance whenever the next general election is?
It's not hopeless, but as each day goes past and as each day without clear unity goes past, it becomes much more of a challenge and much less likely.
Yeah, I mean, obviously all the opposition parties want a general election. Millions of people, I suspect, want a general election. Some Tories do as well. Do you think there should be one once this next leader is chosen?
No, I think the problem with a general election is that actually you get another long period of uncertainty. The Tories have not handled the last few months well. There's no question about that. The processes have been too long, and then we've had a brief period with Liz Truss. But the Labour Party, although they're asking for a general election, I've heard a whole series of businessmen and other commentators say they don't know what the Labour Party policies are. So there would be uncertainty. That's for other people to decide. But there's no doubt that the Tory party will try and rally round the new leader, whoever that may happen to be, and try and go forward almost certainly for the next 2 years in terms of running up to a general election.
I'm going to come back to you in a second. We've been asking 5 News viewers to send us their messages on the 5 phone. Katie from Leeds, I think the government should be fair to the public and do an early general election. Sandra Hendry in Liverpool says Boris has paid for his mistakes and bad judgment. If we can't have a general election, bring Boris back. Edith in Hartlepool, we should have a general election, allow the people who are suffering financially to have their voice. Diane in Essex, Boris can't come back. Definitely a U-turn too far. Gordon in Bournemouth, only Boris can sort this mess out. He does what he says. Yeah, on that point, Lord Hayward, I mean, there are a lot of Tory supporters and some MPs who think that only Boris Johnson can sort this out. What's your take on that?
Oh, there's no question. There are very strong feelings on both sides. You can go to any part of any major city and you'll find strong Boris supporters. I was with a cab driver from Bexley earlier today, and he had said a mile further down the road in places like Mottingham and Chislehurst, they would be adamant Rishi supporters. So communities are divided, and this is part of the problem. It's not just that the Tory party is divided, but there is a pretty large slice of the nation which is divided.
I mentioned you were an MP during the 1980s and early 90s, so you saw the fall of Thatcher and the early years of John Major's premiership. How does this compare with then?
Oh, I did. I was actually in number 11 as John Major became Prime Minister. I was doing his numbers for him. I've been too many years doing political numbers. But there's no question. This is a mess of serious proportions. What happened in 1990, 1991 seems very low key in comparison with this.